For me, art became a way of life, my first nature. I've spent most of my childhood watching my mum sew on her saris and create beautiful designs, and then holidays at my uncle's drawing. Clearly, there was art directed within me all the years, and my parents, my family has been very supportive since a very young age. My name is Prina Shah, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist living and working in Nairobi, Kenya. So in 1982, the coup took place in Kenya. Unfortunately, this period was a difficult period for the family where we were directly impacted. And my father decided that we were going to now move to London. At this time, we were separated from our father because he had to stay behind. It was my first notion as a child, at a tender age, of learning about division and separation. And throughout, it's been a journey in questioning oneself and identity. In the mid-90s, I returned back to Nairobi to make peace with my experience of 1982 and also to be with my father. So every morning I meditate, and meditate is where I meet myself, where there is stillness and I gain clarity. And once I do my meditation, I go into my studio, open my sketchbook, and let it start flowing. The mediums I use don't just come out randomly. There's a purpose for them, and they must work together with the theme that I'm exploring. So I've been collecting wedding invitation cards since the 90s, yes. And it's interesting because for me, it's always been about texture, the beautiful handwriting on it, how far these invites have traveled, the going to personal touch, personal invites, community, joy, love. Now, all this has become history. The pandemic has taken this away from us in that time when the isolation started. So I use the wedding invitation cards as a symbol of showing this connection. We lost our dearest father last year in January, early January, and it has had a clear impact on my work. Because grief is a cruel kind of education. It's a different language that one has to, lack off or try and grasp. I created a language for myself to communicate. It was very important for me to use a specific type of medium that I would feel comfortable with. And I chose wool because of its softness and gentleness. I found myself being different during the day than I was at night. And yeah, my mental, body, spiritual language, it's all transitioned in its own ways. And it's evolved because we do evolve, whether we are aware or we're not. I think this has become a more sense of a conscious way of living, more expanded awareness. And what these transitions have looked like, that's what I've been experimenting and exploring, is what do these transitions that one feels, that one has been put into, look like? And this body of work explores all those transitions. I moved into wanting to understand a little more about this process myself, other ways of communicating with my father. For me, it's just because you just don't see something does not mean it does not exist. This is going to be my first time to exhibit in Geneva, in Switzerland. I'm excited and honored. It's going to be quite an experience simply because I find it exciting that the work itself is going to be unpacked in a different culture and received in a different way. And that I think is brilliant because it expands my audience. I'm a complete believer in there is no beginning, no end. Can't be all to life. This is not it. There's a lot more. And I think it's important also as a human being, not just as the artist, because it shows you that things are limitless.